את השם מכבי ברלין רובכם בוודאי שמעתם לראשונה בתחילת החודש, כשהקבוצה הגרמנית ערכה טקס מרגש לזכרם של שירי, פיר ואריאל ביבס, השם יקום דמם, לפני משחק ליגה. מי שעוקב אחרי הליגה הגרמנית בוודאי כבר נחשף אליה בתחילת העונה שעברה, כששיחקה לראשונה בגביע הגרמני. הסיפור של מכבי ברלין הוא מרתק, במיוחד כי היא נחשבת לקבוצה היהודית היחידה שמשחקת מחוץ לישראל, והיא גלגול של קבוצה עם השם הכי מקורי ששמעתם אי פעם, בר כוכבא ברלין, שהוקמה אי שם בסוף המאה ה-19. היא מורכבת משחקנים יהודים ברובה, אבל לא רק, ומשחקים בה מכל הדתות, והקפטן שלה הוא אחד עם שם של טייס, דורון ברוק, והוא איתנו כאן היום כדי לספר על הקבוצה המיוחדת שלו, המחווה המדהימה שלה לביבסים, וגם קצת עליו, אבל קודם כל, פתיח ומתחילים. ברוכים הבאים לפרק ה-334 של חולה על כדורגל הפודקאסט. אני יוסי עדני, איתי ניב מימון, מנהל המידע של חולה על כדורגל. על הניב.
היי יוסי, מה שלומך?
בסדר גמור, ואנחנו מאוד שמחים לארח את קפטן מכבי ברלין, דורון ברוק. הראיון התקיים באנגלית, ואנחנו נשתדל גם להעלות את הדברים המרכזיים ממנו לכתבה באתר של חולה על כדורגל, וכמובן גם ברילסים ברשתות. אז שלום דורון, איך העברית שלך?
ככה, אז אני לא I'm not in practice.
אוקיי.
הייתי כמה שנים בארץ ולמדתי שם, אבל בבינתחומי באנגלית, אז העברית שלי לא 100%, אבל אני מנסה.
אוקיי. When you came here to Israel, you learned in the university. What is the first Hebrew word that they taught you?
The first Hebrew word is, I think, sablanut. the most important word in Israel, I think.
Yeah. We live in fifth, high speed every time and everything. But you have a great time here in Israel, I suppose. You also played futsal for the university. Yeah.
Yes. I played futsal. Before that, even when I was 19, I came to Israel to train with Hapoel Tel Aviv. 2014-15, Domb was the coach, the manager. It didn't work out so well. All in all, I think football in Israel is a bit different than in Germany. Yeah, just different. Not better, not worse. Just different structures, different mentality. Different weather. So it didn't work out so well. I went back to Germany and then I went back to study in the IDC. And I played a bit with Hapoel Kfar Saba in the second division, but I'm a very competitive guy. So always when I play football, I tend to forget all the other things. So I didn't want to forget my studies, and that's why I just played in the futsal team and the football team of the university. Yes.
For how many years have you played in Israel?
In total, I think 5 years.
And how was the experience in Israel in the leagues?
Like I said, football-wise, the level was pretty high. Especially technique is very good, and physicality is good in Israel. Very physical way of playing. When it comes to passing, I had the feeling, I was growing up in youth academies in Germany, where passing is a good thing. You try to pass to the next guy in order to make room to play. In Israel, I think if you pass the ball, it's a sign of weakness. If you pass the ball, the people think you're not good enough to dribble around the other players. So it's a bit different kind of style. But very, very good, very hard. Just the mentality and structure is a bit, let's say, maybe challenging when you come from Europe. But yes, I had a great time.
So you think that you could have stayed in Hapoel Tel Aviv and made a career here in the Israeli football?
Maybe if I would have gambled 100% on it, but you know how the salary is in Israel. It's not unfortunately that you can play until 35 and then you can just make a living from it. So I knew that I wouldn't be good enough for the top 5% to make a living after 35. So I went to make a plan with my brain, and it worked out well. But at least I tried it. My dad, who's from Israel, always told me you have to try it when you're young, because other things you can do all the other things when you're old, but football you cannot make up when you're old.
It's never too late, you just 31, no?
Yeah, I'm 30. But
30.
when we came to the cup now last year and won the Berlin Cup, a few agents from Israel contacted me again and asked if I want to play in Israel.
Okay.
But as much as I love Israel, I think the career football-wise is let's say not at the peak anymore.
Never say never. And you are play as a midfielder, yeah?
Yes, I'm a central midfielder.
Okay.
Before you spoke about the Berlin Cup, can you explain us about this tournament and why it is so important for this club and how it's connected to the German Cup?
Yes, so there's in every state there's a tournament from all the teams, all the senior teams, all the amateur teams, and they compete to win it in the whole season, like a normal cup. And the winner from every state goes to the first round of the big DFB Cup, where all the professional teams play. So it's very hard to win the cup, because all the teams, all the senior teams from Berlin are trying to win it, and there's teams from the Regionalliga, semi-professional teams. And it was a very, very big success. I think the biggest success in our club history to win it in 2023, and also very big media, very, very big media interest from all over the world, from the US, from Israel. I think the game we played then against Wolfsburg, we don't want to talk about the result, but I think it was even broadcasted in Israel. My cousin sent me a picture, and it was a very big thing for the club, and I think also for Jewish life in Germany, and especially.
We will talk about how it affected the Jewish community in Germany. But let's think. I'm sorry, you lost 6-0. But what do you remember from this game? And which shirt did you get after it?
First of all, I didn't get any shirt because no one asked me to change. I was waiting for them to ask, but no one asked. No, jokes aside, I really didn't get any shirt. Here in the back, there's a shirt from our club, number 31. Yannick Gerhardt, he also played in the German national team. What did I remember? I think all the event was was a big highlight in our football career. Was a lot of spectators, a lot of fans, a lot of media around it. I just remember the day after I fell in the hole because no one cared anymore. Before that, I think I gave like 200 interviews in the weeks before, and then the day after was like a hangover. But it was a very, very good event for the fans, for the community, and a pity that we lost 6-0. But we scored a goal. It would have been 2-1 for halftime, but they didn't allow it. And there's no VAR in.
If there was a VAR, it was.
Yeah, it was no offside.
No.
And it would have been my. So it's a pity, but
yeah.
Maybe if it was the VAR, you would have made a sensation and won the match. Yeah, you never know.
to be realistic, I think 1% chance to win this game because they're just very physical, very well-trained team. So from 100 games, maybe 1% we would go to penalty shootout.
Nice. We will do a short stop here to make some announcement, and I will move back to Hebrew. אני רוצה להזכיר לכולם, לדרג את חולה על כדורגל הפודקאסט, 5 כוכבים בספוטיפיי ובאפל פודקאסט, אנחנו נמצאים גם ביוטיוב, אז כמובן, תעשו לייק לסרטון. תגיבו ותירשמו לערוץ, חולה על כדורגל נמצא בשלל הפלטפורמות, פייסבוק, טלגרם, טוויטר, אינסטגרם, טיק טוק, שניב מימון כך אחראי גם על הטיק טוק והאינסטגרם, ועושה שם עבודה מעולה, ויש גם אתר מגזין, כדורגל.com, וכל הודעה שאתם רוצים לשלוח לנו, אז כמובן ברשתות החברתיות השונות, אתם מוזמנים לשלוח הודעה פרטית, וגם מייל למי שרוצה להעניק חסות לחולה על כדורגל הפודקאסט, יש אחלה חשיפה. We'll go back to you, Doron, please. I think that we need to start from the most recent issue, the honor that you shared to the Biebs family earlier this month. It was very nice and to see that, and all the sport sites here and also the news sites we talk about it. So just tell us about this.
Yes, pleasure. I mean, for us as a club, as a Jewish club in Germany, it's very hard to make a political position because you can imagine we have a lot of players who are not Jewish who don't want to be as a target for people who are not who are against Israel or anti-Semitic. So that's why for a lot of time during the war, since the war started, we couldn't make a move. But now we told ourselves that we can't be quiet any longer. I think to show to make a tribute for the Biebs family is nothing political. It's just human to show yourself, and that's why we decided to make the event to be strong for Jewish people, but also for non-Jewish people. We asked the other team to take part in it. They took part in it, but they didn't want to share it on social media because they said they have some Palestinian players and don't want to make any political statement. We told them it's nothing political to be against violence or discrimination or killing of unguilty people. So but that's the situation in Germany. It's not so easy to make such a sign. We did it, and we got a lot of positive feedback. Also from Israel, we were very thankful, and I hope we don't have to do it again. But if we have to do it again, we will do it again.
Is the decision made negative comments from Germany or from fans?
To be honest, not really. We were we were scared a bit that we get some negative feedback also from our players. We were scared maybe some of our players, which are also partly Muslim, don't want to play in the Biebs shirt. That's why we didn't make a big story out of it before. We just told them, okay, we have an event and we want to show to make a tribute for killed people, but we didn't ask them for any opinion or told them the big picture. And in the end, I think everyone was okay with it. We tried not to make it so political, and we won the game, which was also very important in the end. So for everyone, I think it was a good event.
So tell us about the team. You said that you have some Muslim players and players from Africa and other countries. It's a Jewish club, but it opened for all the religion.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to have 11 Jewish people in Berlin to play good in the league. So we have to be open. No, jokes aside, we want to be open. We are a Jewish club. We have a Jewish identity and Jewish DNS. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that we force everyone to go to the synagogue or to make tefillin every day. But we have some values. We don't play on Shabbat, the home games. We don't play on holidays, and we try to make such tributes to support Jewish life. We have 16 nationalities all over the world: Africa, America, Asia. So all the cultures, all the religions play together. And if you know the history from our club, we were prohibited during the Second World War. We had over 20,000 members, and even though we were prohibited and it was not allowed for us to play, we want to make the opposite and let everyone play in our team. But especially, of course, for Jewish people to have a home, not for this to happen again, that they don't have a place to play.
Okay. If we are talking about the tribute and all the Jewish community in the club, I want to know what the situation in Israel affect you and all the Jewish players in the club. How it affect you? It affect you?
Yeah. So in the beginning, when it started on October 7, it was pretty hard because no one knew what is going to happen. I was in Israel on this day, or I was on the way to Israel on October 7. I came back and our game was canceled. Our first game was canceled because there were threats that the Hamas and all the terrorist organization told all the Muslims all over the world to do something against Jews. So we didn't play for 2 weeks. We were talking with the police a lot, with the German state to give us protection, security, and we managed somehow to go back into the trivia to make the games. We also, as a team, we were sitting together and decided what to do to end the season or to play on. But I think for everyone, it was sure that we want to make a sign, not to let us, to let us influence or impact from the terror organizations, and to keep on playing. And but even though, of course, inside the team it was also a topic, I try not to talk political with the teammates in the locker room. But of course, some of them are Muslims, some of them have a lot of Muslim friends. So
tell us about the experience that also before the events between you and the Muslim players, and of course after the attack. I think it's unpleasant sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Berlin, and there's a lot of Turkish, a lot of Arab people, especially in football. Of course, it's a home for Turkish and Arab people. So in my youth, when I didn't play for Maccabi, it was a bit tough, to be honest. Even if there was a coach who knew that I'm from Israel, I always had the feeling that it's not the same like with the Turkish and Arab players. And also the other families, they're Lebanese families, Palestinian families. If they saw my parents, and it was not, they were not friends, nothing happened, thank God. But I think it was hard for me to be in this field, which is very Muslim in Berlin. And that's why I'm very proud and very happy to be in a Jewish club now, which plays in a high level. And also, I'm happy that we have Muslim players with us. I think the Muslim players which play in Maccabi, they're of course not the average. They're already, let's say, the Muslim more open for Jewish life, more open for German values. So I don't have any fight with them about politics. But for example, on the 9th of October, when I came back to the locker room, Israel didn't even start the war. There was nothing, just a terror attack. And some player, he's not even Muslim, he's I think from Africa, told me, yeah, what do you expect if you how did he say, if you suppress and be violent against a country for so long? He meant the Palestinians. What do you expect that they protect themselves? So he, even after 2 days after this horrific terror attack, he already looked for reasons to justify what happened. So we see it all over Germany, all over Europe, all over America even. It's normal, but yeah, it's still a shame.
Before the attacks, did you felt some? How is the anti-Semitic war before the attacks? You felt something?
Now and then something happened. To be honest, in our team, the level is pretty high. So the supporters, the fans, the players of the other teams, they are always aware of the situation, and they know if they say something anti-Semitic, they're going to be out for weeks and get a very high fine.
Yeah.
So I have the feeling in our team and our level, not so much. But in the lower leagues, in the second team, in the third team, and in the youth teams, some players were threatened with knives during the game, were beaten. So it happens a lot, and people always think Maccabi is Jewish and Maccabi is Israel, which is not 100% true, because we have a lot of nations, and even Muslims are being attacked when they play for a Jewish team. So yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Happened before the attacks also?
Yes, of course.
Wow.
For example, even in our team, we have a Turkish player who plays for us for 5 years already, and we played against the Turkish team, and he played in the team before, so they knew him, and his dad and his sister were looking at the game, viewing the game. So during the game, one of the other supporters was starting to scream. He's a how do you say? Like, he's not loyal. He goes to the Jews and all of the stuff. So he started a fight with his dad, and they started to beat him. And our player during the game was in the 40 minutes went out of the game and was trying to protect his dad. So yeah, a lot of these
Tell
stories.
me, is there a policeman in these games? So it sounds unsafe to play.
Yeah, I mean, then not so much. Now, since the 7th of October, since the war, it's increased. We have police protection, and I don't know if they can really make something, if they can really protect us when something happens. But it's still a good feeling to have some kind of protection.
And inside the games, when you're playing against a lot of players from the lower leagues, do you get in the pitch like an anti-Semitic calls? Like when you play against each other, someone tells you you are a dirty Jew, or I don't know, these kind of things?
You mean the players, the other players?
Yeah, inside the game. Yeah.
Of course, it happened. It happened, especially in the lower leagues, to other people also, not only to Jews, also to non-Jews in our team. But I mean, I don't want to justify it, but you know how football is. You always, if you want to provoke the opponent, you always try to find something, a weakness, which he thinks. I don't know. If you're small, he will tell you're a small guy. If you're fat, he will tell you fatty. And if you're a Jewish team, he will tell you fucking Jew. So sorry for my words. I don't know if it's always anti-Semitic. It's just in sports, the barrier to do something like that is not so high than in normal life.
So let's go back to your club and the history. What can you tell us about Maccabi Berlin?
Yeah, so Maccabi Berlin was founded in the 1920s. Before the war, it had over 20,000 members. Very, very big club. Then, unfortunately, as we all know, during the Second World War, it was very hard to live here for Jewish people in Berlin, and they prohibited the club. they prohibited even all the Jews from other clubs to play to compete in sports. And it was only real life, let's say, in the 1970s as Bar Kochba, and then it changed to Maccabi Berlin. And unfortunately, now we have not so many members like before the war. We have around, I think, 550 members, but it's still growing. We are trying to increase the number of members. We're trying to make all the structures better. But yeah, that's more or less the history. It was prohibited in 1970s. It was refounded, and now we play and try to grow.
When did you join the team?
I played my first year in the senior team in 2012. I had a very good season, and then I switched to a different club and then to Israel. And then when I came back to Germany, it was in 2019. So now 6 years already again. But
you are a club legend, no?
I don't know legend, but I think I'm one of the most loyal players.
Okay, so what can you tell us about the effect of the club about on the Jewish life in Berlin or even in Germany?
Yeah, we are trying to have a big effect on the Jewish life in Germany. That's also a big reason why I am playing there. Of course, it's fun for me, but I also want to give a sign for all the Jewish people, all the non-Jewish people, even for people in Israel, that Jewish life in Germany and in Berlin is very much alive. Not only, the things from the Second World War. A lot of Germans always think, okay, Jews, what is Jews in Germany? It's only graves and concentration camps, and once a year we have to be guilty. We have to feel guilty for something we didn't do. So we try to really make an active position in the Jewish life in Germany, and to give it a face, of sports, of togetherness, of football, and also for the Jewish community, it's very important. To go to the synagogue to make religious stuff is one thing, but you also have to have a more, let's say, approachable event and more fun, let's say. Okay, for some people synagogue is fun, but I think for most people to go to a football game is very much more fun. And we are very proud that in the last years we could be so successful that it's even fun to look at our games. Yeah, so a lot of Jewish people from the community come to our games.
You have dreamed to go upper in the leagues in Germany?
Yes, I mean, dream sounds very unrealistic. We have a very concrete target to go up to the fourth league and then to the third league to professional football. We're trying.
How does it work? How many people how many teams can go to the fourth league, and how does it work?
So in 2022, we came up to the fifth league, and we're now trying to stabilize in the fifth league. But the hard thing is only one team from our league goes up to the fourth league, Regionalliga. So you cannot.
There is any playoff games or not?
No, the first place goes up. No playoff games, and it's very hard to plan, because even if you invest a lot of money, let's say, and have a very good team, to become first place, you have to be also a bit lucky. So we're trying it now. In the first year after the promotion, we were third place. Last year we were sixth place, and now at the moment we're in fourth place. But we have, I think, 10 points to the first. So it's not realistic to go up this year. But we're working on it. We're working on the structures to be in a sustainable success, not only one year to another. We're now trying to change the team to a more corporate, like to have a corporation, also to attract investors, not only from Germany, but from all over the world. and maybe to be the first Jewish team outside of Israel to be in professional football. That would be great.
It will be amazing.
Yeah. So people who hear us, who watch us, if you want to invest in a Jewish club outside of Israel, you are open to that.
Yeah.
Huh, Doron?
I will give my phone number later.
Send us messages and we will contact with Doron. You talked before about the structure and the differences between the Israeli and the German football. So what is the differences?
I mean, my dad always he always says a joke. He always asks me, there's a very interesting sports which they play in Europe. It's called football. It's very similar to football in Israel. So yeah, I mean, it was always a very big difference from European and Israel football. I think the difference got smaller. Israeli football improved from the level. I think the main difference is the mentality that people in Israel, especially the people who invest money in football, are not very patient. So I started the podcast with the word savlanut. It's a very rare word in Israeli football. If you invest money, you want immediate return. You want to buy players who tomorrow they score goals. But this is not how football works, unfortunately. So,
You know the word ta'alich? You know what is?
Talich?
Ta'alich is process.
Process,
You know,
yeah.
yeah. So this is ta'alich, process is a word that we don't like, trust the process, not in Israel.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
not
I
that
don't want to generalize for everyone, but this is the experience I've made. I had a German friend, Christopher Mandiango. He played with me in Kwasaba. He was there as a foreigner. And, you can only have, I don't know if it's still like that, but you could only have 4 foreign players in the Israeli league. So
Now it's 6 foreigners in the
now it's 6.
upper league and 2 or 3 in the second league.
Okay, so it was second league, and especially if you buy a foreign player for a lot of money, you want immediate return. So he didn't play well for I don't know 2 or 3 weeks, not more, and he moved to Israel. And then they told him, okay, we're not going to let you play. Either you're going to end the contract, or you're going to run the rest of the season. You're only going to run. So this is, I mean, it happens all over the world. I don't want to make it an Israeli phenomenon, but in Israel, I think what you just say, the process is just very, very, very short. In Germany, if you want to integrate youth players, for example, you have to be patient because they don't perform from the first day. You have to give them chance. And sometimes the success and the games will not be so successful as with the other players. But on the long term, you're going to build a very good team with not so much money. And this is a difference. I think if you look at what was it, under 20 Israeli national team, which was now very successful in the World Cup. I think Israel has a very, very strong, very good youth department and academies. But I think maybe it's missing a bit the integration of the players into the senior teams.
So first of all, you talked about a lot about Israel, and I really want to know how was your experience in Israel when you played in Hapoel Tel Aviv and with Hapoel Kfar Saba? Like how you felt, how they, how do you add a connection? Because you don't have a good Hebrew, so how did you connect with the players, with the language, and with their habits? Because you're from Germany, so it's
very
nice.
Very good question. I came there as a coincidence. My dad knew Eyal Berkovic, who was I don't have to introduce you to him. He's a very special character. So I came, I was, preparing myself, going for runs, then coming to Israel I think I was 19, doing the medical check. And then I come to the office of Eyal Berkovic of Eyal Berkovic with my dad from Germany as a 19-year-old growing up in the academy there, and that was already the first big, let's say the first big event. He gave me like 2 minutes with my dad. He was asking me where I come from, which team, did I play national team, and then he told me, I give you 3 days here, and then you're going to be back in Germany. So I took the challenge and was trying to not make him being right. And in the end, it was I think 8 months. But yeah, I already saw that football in Israel, and he was the not manager, he was the CEO, I think, at that time.
Yeah.
I already saw the big difference, and then I came to the locker room. I got my seat. The locker room,
senior team, yeah.
Yes, in the senior team.
With the senior team.
Of course, they don't care for any new player now to come with 19 years. They didn't look at me. I was just talking mostly with the international players. There was Lucas Sasha. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, from Tel Aviv. Yeah, I know him.
He was mad at me because we won in the summer. We won 7-1 in the World Cup against Brazil. So
yeah.
I told him I'm from Germany, and he already said, "Leave me alone, leave me alone." And of course, it's very hard to come into a different country with 19 years, especially Israel. Everyone was mostly looking at himself. And when I came from the youth team in Germany, it was more like a community. But in professional football, in the end, even though it's a team sport, everyone is looking just on their own. I mean, it's a business, and you have to play. You have to collect stats. You have to make goals. You have to be there, and it was very hard, but also very fun because all the international players, the African players, were very, very funny.
Who do you remember the most from there?
The most, I was a guy was picking me up always for training. He was called Harmony Ikanda. I don't know if you remember him.
Omri Canada?
Harmony Ikanda.
Harmony Ikanda. Yes. He played also, I think, in Beitar.
Yeah, could be. He was a central defender, very good technique, but I think he's now back in Nigeria or something.
Yeah.
Who else was there? I mean, Gil Vermouth was playing back then.
Now they don't like him in Hapoel Tel Aviv.
Why?
Because he went to Maccabi Tel Aviv one day after the derby. He signed over.
Less than one day. I think it was like 2 hours after the derby that they lost to Maccabi Tel Aviv. He moved to Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't like them.
And then he moved to Maccabi Haifa after that. And after that, he moved to Hapoel Haifa.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
I can understand why they don't like him. But that's.
Are you following the Israeli league for now?
Again?
Are you following the Israeli league?
Honest, not so much. After that, I was following it for a few years, but it's very hard because 1 year one team is in the top, and then the next year they're playing against relegation. So it's changing a lot. Not like in Germany, Bayern, Dortmund, and Leipzig playing on the top all the time. It's very fluctuating.
Now Hapoel Tel Aviv in the second league, but they go up. So let's go back even earlier. Just tell about you. Where did you born? And you said that your father is an Israeli.
Mm-hmm. I was born in Berlin. Grew up in Berlin. Did everything in Berlin until 18, 19. My dad is from Jerusalem.
Nice. I'm also from Jerusalem. Yeah.
He's a bit older. But he loves Jerusalem. He grew up there in the 1950s, so he had a very tough time with his German parents. My grandparents were from Germany and Austria, so they were speaking German at home. And now he loves Germany. He likes to go back for visiting Israel, but he always complains about the structures. And he played in what's the name of the team? Apol Jerusalem, Katamon.
Yeah, now there was Apol Jerusalem, then people from Apol Jerusalem opened a team, Apol Katamon, and now Apol Jerusalem were Apol Jerusalem are they took the name, and Apol Jerusalem, the first one, is not exists
Okay.
now.
Which league?
First league,
First
the
league?
Liga Tal.
Wow.
Apol Jerusalem.
When I was there, they were third league, I think. Katamon.
Yeah. They go up and they do nice work. Yeah.
Yeah, they also have a lot of fans, right?
Yeah,
Beitar more. Beitar Jerusalem in Jerusalem.
You're a Beitar?
Huh?
You're a Beitar fan?
Yeah. I grew up as a Beitar fan, and I worked there also. And
my cousin too. He's a very he goes almost to every game from Beitar.
Yeah. Now we're in nice times. We have a good team and fourth place. So if you need a club to see, it's Beitar Jerusalem. Many goals, for and against. You will enjoy.
Yeah, nice. I will come. I miss Israel. I was there in July for the last time, but I will come back for the Maccabi hopefully this year.
With Germany, I guess.
Yeah, for Germany, but it's going to be in Jerusalem, so maybe we'll have a chance.
We will see each other. We will see each other. But when did you started to play football in Germany?
Very early, when I was 3.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my passion for all my life.
What do you remember from growing up as a football player?
What do I remember? I remember, for example, the first training. I was so small, I didn't want to go on the field alone, so I went with my sister, my big sister. She's 11 years older, so I went with her on the hand, and she was running with me all over the pitch. So that was my first training. What else? Yeah, I mean, I think it is very important for someone to make a team sports which he is passionate about. It's fun. A lot of people now go to the gym, which is also fun, but it's not. If you do it alone and then you're lazy and it's not fun, you always have problems. Football is also for the life. You learn to be on time. You learn to be consistent. You learn to be in a team. You learn to be competitive. So when I have kids one day, I will also send them to football because it's very good for your character as well.
But in Germany, not in Israel.
We'll see about that.
How was the academies in Germany? Is it harder than Israel? I don't know. How was the level?
I mean, I didn't see an academy in Israel. I think if I look at the results from the youth teams in Israel, I think the level is pretty high. What I also think is probably in Germany it's a bit more professional because we have a lot more players and maybe the same amount of academies. So it's a smaller chance to come into the academy. You have to sacrifice a lot. You have to be in the school there. You have to move. A lot of young players are moving. Nowadays when you're 15 and you're not training with the Bundesliga team, you're already out more or less. When I was young, I don't know, if you were 20, you could still come into the Bundesliga, even if you were not be in the academy. Nowadays, if you're not in the academy with 15, 16, it's, I think, very, very hard to be a player in the Bundesliga.
So what did you take from growing up as a youth player in Germany?
What did I take from it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my style of playing, of course, is very German. I'm very physical.
Very physical?
I'm a very physical player, very good in duels, like fights. Not so much technique. I heard, I have a friend, he's coach in Hertha BSC from the under 15. he made a tournament now in Spain, and he says the Spanish style of playing is very, very different. They go only on technique. Every player, even the defenders, know how to
move the ball.
Yes, more dribbling, more technique, more with the ball. It's more like fun. In Germany, football is more like work. You always have to work to make fights, to run, to pass the ball. It's more about the result. In Germany, it's more about the result. In Spain, it's more about the beautiness of play. Yeah.
Yeah, if we are talking about sports and about your career, I want to ask you, what do you consider as the biggest moment of your career so far?
Yeah, I mean, we already spoke about it, I think. Of
Wolfsburg?
course, yeah, maybe in the youth there were some things which happened, but of course I look at the last years, especially the success with Maccabi Berlin. Wolfsburg was not even. It was a very good event, but as a competitor in football, if you are an athlete, you always want to win. So the final, which we won before the game, which qualified us for the Wolfsburg game, was the best game and one of the best days in my life. I think was we won in extra time. It was 1-1 for 90 minutes, and then we won in extra time 3-1. It was also a very, very big game. And
How was the feeling in that game?
Again?
In that game, how was the feeling before you knew that you will play against Wolfsburg?
I mean, the feeling before the game was very, very tensed. In the Wolfsburg game, we could only win. I mean, no one thought that we were going to win against Wolfsburg. But in the final, we were playing a team even from one league down. So everyone already said congratulations 2 weeks before the game, because they thought we were going to win for sure. But you know, if in such a important game, when everyone is trying to give their best, and for the other team, it was also one of the biggest days in their life. So it was a very, very tough game before, and but even more when we won it was a very, very big relief and very, very big happiness on this day.
And in that draw, when you saw that you drew against Wolfsburg after you won, how was the felt? Like how you felt? If you felt sadness, happiness?
I mean,
You wanted Bayern, maybe.
Yes,
No?
100%. I mean, there's two options always with these draws. Either you go for the best team with the biggest media coverage and the most supporters, and you anyways can't win, or you go for a smaller team and you try to win the game. I mean, Wolfsburg is a very, very tough combination because it's not a lot of media coverage, and you don't really have a chance.
Yes.
So, but Wolfsburg is pretty close to Berlin. It's like 1 hour with the train. So it's not so bad because a lot of spectators came, I think like 3,000 from Wolfsburg. And they're a very professional team. They helped us a lot with the organization of the game. They have a very big team behind it. You know, Volkswagen is behind it, a lot of money. So it could have been worse, I think. I mean, Heidenheim or who else? Augsburg.
Yes, yes.
It's very far away, and we still wouldn't have a chance. So I think it was somewhere in the middle. You know, when we watch the draw, it's like they draw one thing and then the next, and a lot of bad teams like Augsburg, Heidenheim, Fürth, a lot of bad teams already went out. So I was hoping for Dortmund, Union Berlin, Hertha, Bayern. And then I was a bit disappointed when they chose Wolfsburg.
Maybe next year, you know.
Maybe next year, yeah. It's a sign for us to come back.
Yeah. Tell us about the lower leagues in Germany. How is the experience, the level, the matches?
You mean in our league?
Yeah. Your league, the sixth league, it's not so professional, and you know, the experience with the referees and the arrangement and the fans and the players and everything.
Yeah, so We're now playing the 5th league, which is called Oberliga. We are having away games like the furthest away is like 3 hours in Rostock. We're playing the second team of Hansa Rostock in 2 weeks. So it's very, very nice because I like it to go into the bus with our team to have a good atmosphere. And even especially if you win the game, the atmosphere is even better after the game. So it's pretty, let's say, semi-professional. Some games have a lot of spectators, but the league, which is really, really changing, is the Regionalliga 1 league above. They have like some teams have like 10,000 spectators per game, and it's almost, let's say, comparable with some teams in the Liga Tal. I think I would compare the Regionalliga more with the Liga Leumit from the level. Even though, of course, the style of playing is different. The Regionalliga is very, very physical, not so much technique. I think Liga Leumit is more technique and better players. But I think on the average, you could maybe compare it. And the 3rd league, maybe here you can compare it to Liga Tal. Of course, the bigger teams like Maccabi Tel Aviv, Maccabi Haifa, they play international in Europe. They could also play maybe in the Bundesliga or in the 2nd Bundesliga. But on average, the lower teams, I think, in Liga Tal are maybe 3rd league level.
How many days do you train now?
We have a very very crazy coach. He used to
every day.
Every day, yes. He's the best friend of, I don't know if you heard of him, Hermann Gerland. He used to be 2nd coach in Bayern Munich. He's a very old guy, and our coach is known for fitness, for running a lot. So he's training with us every day. I mean, you don't have to go every day because a lot of players work, like me. So I go like 3 to 4 times a week plus game. But he's very crazy, and with the young players, we have some young players who want still to become professional. He's training with them every day.
Yeah, about the league, you said in the interview that only the 1st place in the league can go up to the 4th league. So what I want to ask you is, how do you stay motivated throughout a long and demanding season?
I mean, yeah, it's a very long season. In order to become champion, you always have to. It's not only always the best team. It's the team with the best mentality, with the best. Also with the most with the biggest squad, maybe, because you can have some injuries. You can have some red cards. So it's very hard. It's very important to take everyone in the team to speak to him and tell him that he's an important part of the success. Because if you only have 11 players who do every game and then they get injured or red card, so in order to become champion in a long season, you always have to have a big squad with every player to be important, to be mentally 100% there, and also to be lucky. I mean, all the champions in the end, they win. If it's 1-1, they score in the 90th minute. And the ones who don't become champion, they concede in the 90th minute. So you saw Leverkusen, how they won every game in the 90th minute always, and they didn't lose. This is also mentality, but of course also a bit luck.
Yeah.
So maybe you will call for players from Israel if they want to play with you.
Anytime.
It's possible?
Yeah, it's very possible. We had a lot of Israel
tryouts and everything.
Tryouts and even players to play with us. It's just a bit hard because people who come, for example, from Liga Leumit, they expect here to make a living and to
money. And you don't make money from football.
Again?
You don't make money from football in the 5th league.
You make money from it, but it's not enough money that you come, especially from Israel, to Berlin. So
you need to have work, or maybe a rich dad.
Yeah, maybe, or you do something on the side. I mean, to be a student or to learn German. To come especially here for the football career, I think it doesn't really make sense. Or you want to invest 1 year to maybe not make so much money and then go up to the Regionalliga if you're a very good player. But to be honest, also the style of playing is a bit different. So our coach right now likes
Just
more.
long balls and hit and run and something like that?
Yes. Not only we try to play football, of course, but it's more physical, more duels, more fitness, and not so much maybe like in Liga Leumit, not so much football. Yeah.
And when you meet people, I want to ask you about something. When you meet people around the world, are you tell them you are from Berlin or that you're from Germany? It's
Berlin, of course.
why
Yes,
Berlin?
I just had the discussion with one friend of mine that I always say Berlin. I don't want to say German. I don't know why. I mean, in Germany we have the problem, not only Jews, but I think every German is not proud to say I'm German. I think it's because of the history mainly. And that's why I say Berlin. I'm from Berlin because I think there would be no different place in the long term where I would live in Germany than Berlin, because Berlin is a very cosmopolitan, multicultural, let's say, capital, maybe comparable to Tel Aviv, with a lot of people, a lot of cultures. And I don't know if I would live in Munich or in Frankfurt. It would be a bit different.
Okay. So just tell us, what are you doing except football?
I studied finance. I studied business and economics with finance in the IDC, and then I was working now for 5, 6, 7 years in the real estate financing sector. I was in a fund, and we were financing big real estate projects. And now I took the chance. I turned 30, and I took the chance to become self-employed in the same field. So now I'm buying, selling, developing real estate with investors together in Berlin, in Germany. Yeah.
So people from Israel that wants to go to Berlin, live at Berlin, talk with you.
Don't talk with me, please. No, people from Israel who want to invest money in German properties can talk to me. People who are looking for an apartment, it's always hard in Berlin. I mean, I don't have to tell you, in Tel Aviv and all Israel, it's very, very hard.
Okay, so we go to the end, but we have a little short questions. The Israel national team will maybe play Germany in the World Cup qualifiers, and they play against Italy in the National League. So the loser will play against Israel. You know that?
You mean today, the game, Italy-Germany?
Yeah, there is 2 legs, and the loser in the team that will lose in the 2 legs play against Israel in the World Cup qualifiers. You know
I
that?
didn't know that, no.
Okay. So if Germany will play Israel, who do you support?
I think for me it's clear that I will support Israel. You should ask Neve what he's going to support if I look at his shirt.
Germany. I know
Ah,
that we will not go to the World Cup. I'm stick with what I have.
Now, if you remember, Israel played against Germany a friendly game a few years ago, and we lost about 7-0 in Germany.
Remember, yes.
Yeah.
What
But
is that?
we played Italy in the national league, so we want Germany. We want to play different teams. You know, it will be.
So I'm calling my friends in the German national team and telling them to lose.
Yeah. We want to see Nagelsmann. Maybe the games will come back to Israel, and we will see Nagelsmann.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Yeah. Before we have short questions, do you want to send a message to the people that are listening now to us, or maybe watching us, or maybe the people in Israel? Do you have a message?
Good question. I mean, it's mostly people from Israel.
Yeah, maybe if you send to your friends in Berlin, we will have a new fans in Germany.
10,000 new followers from Germany.
Yeah, it will be great.
No, I can only say I love Israel. I miss Israel a lot. I thank everyone who's now in Israel to support the country. I'm thinking a lot. I mean, if I want to send a serious statement now, serious topic, not related to football. Thank everyone to protect Israel, to make living there for us possible. I hope everyone stays safe, and I hope maybe football can help us to not think about bad things that happen every day in the war. But thank you everyone to live in Israel, to support Israel, and to help us to maintain the country.
Do you have any tip for footballers, maybe Israeli footballers that will come to Germany someday? You have an advice for them?
Not to come in the first. No. My advice, I mean, it's a very different life. It's a very different kind of playing. You should always maybe not look at yourself, but look at the team. I know a lot of strong characters in Israel, and you have to be a very strong character in Israel to not only in football but also in life to maintain. It's very different in Germany. German people like more, to be straight, to not be outside of the box. So just try to make your work, and the coach will see you, and you don't have to be outside of the box. Just make what you asked for.
One thing that we didn't talk about, and you remember me about the support of the German football after the 7th of October events, and all over the world, teams, clubs didn't mention about the Hamas attacks, and just the German football clubs, Werder Bremen, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, St. Pauli, they made a lot of tributes, and we saw especially Werder Bremen and also Dortmund made a lot of tributes for the Israeli fans, the Israeli people, and it was very nice to see that. And maybe it felt good for you, I suppose.
Yes, it felt very, very good. Also, we as Maccabi got a lot of support from the bigger teams. I met with Aki Watzke. He's the CEO of Dortmund. He made a lot of good things. I spoke to him, and he also supports Maccabi Berlin. He told me when we need something, we should always reach out to him. So in Germany in general, I mean, a lot of Israeli people ask me, why do you live, especially in Germany, from all the nations? Why do you live in Germany, which try to kill us? And I always tell them, the people who live here now didn't have anything to do with them, and we have a very good life as Jews in Germany, especially because of the history. And these things, like what Werder Bremen did, what Dortmund did, they happen because people are aware of the history, and they don't want this to happen again. So for us as Jews in Germany, it's a very big sign and also now not only in football but also in politics. I think we saw that Germany was one of the biggest supporters of Israel, and yeah, that's very good to see and very important in these challenging times.
Okay, so we want to say thank you for all the German clubs, but now we have quick questions for the end of the episode. So just throw what comes up in your mind. Okay.
Yes, no, or free question.
What?
Is it yes or no or open question?
No. Open questions. One figure from the world of football that you would sit down to have a beer with, and you are German, you like beer, I suppose.
First of all, I'm not. I'm Israeli. I'm a Israeli living in Berlin. No, one person from football that I want.
Yeah, one person.
Oh, that's a good question. I think Arsene Wenger.
Arsene Wenger?
Arsene Wenger.
Wow.
Wow, this is nice.
Yeah,
What do you will question? What
I think he's one of the most talented and most smart coaches in the world. I mean, I like more the older coaches because they have some kind of authority. Of course, Klopp is also good. You could also talk to Klopp, but he's more going out, more like, let's say, more motivating kind of coach, more outside. I like more the quiet ones like Wenger, who have a lot of charisma. So, and he knows German, he knows French, he knows English, he knows a lot of languages. He's coached a lot of players, a lot of big talented players, and I think I would ask him also who's the best player he ever coached. Yeah, because he has a very, very big experience.
Nice. I think that Thomas Muller will be very nice to have a beer with him. No?
Yes, he's a very funny guy, but he's still a player. So everything he knows, probably you also see on the pitch. I'm more interested in the stories outside of the pitch.
Which club do you support in Germany?
Unfortunately, I support Hertha Berlin. They're playing in the second league now. It's very hard to. Here we also have a shirt.
Oh, wow.
Very hard to support them. We also played against them in the preparation of the season. Now they're almost in the third league now, but they will stay in the second league. But yeah, it's a shame that Union Berlin is now better than Hertha Berlin. It's a shame.
Yeah, I want to ask you, who is your favorite team in Israel? If we are talking now.
Good question. My favorite team, of course, Beitar Yerushalayim.
Oh, made it happy now.
Come to Jerusalem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to
And also-
Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Yes. Kenny.
And also, Daniel Peretz is the only Israeli player that play now in Germany. What do you
Not so
think
much
about him?
playing now, you know.
Watching him?
Yeah.
What's your thought about this player?
What's my thought? I like that he supports Israel. He's very open about Israel. I think it's very hard because especially if have such a big media coverage, it's hard. And he shows that he's from Israel. He shows his support. I think he even had a big fight with Nazraoui.
Yeah.
And he used to be in Bayern still.
Yeah, for that.
So I support him. I think he's a very good character. He's still young, and even though he's very engaged in political matter, as a player, I think he's a very good goalkeeper. Maybe he did the step to Bayern a bit too fast, because in this age you need to play, you need to collect minutes, you need to collect stats, and I think it will be hard in Bayern to become first goalkeeper even after Neuer. But I wish him best of luck, and also a very nice girlfriend he has, or fiancée.
You also talked about your manager. You talked about his style of how he wants you to play with all the fitness and all this stuff. Can you tell us about this coach more details?
Yeah, he's like I said, he's the best friend of Hermann Gerland, who's the boss, or used to be the boss of the youth department in Bayern. And our coach is still scout for the youth department of Bayern. So on the weekends he goes all over Germany and is looking for 16, 17-year-old players for Bayern Munich. And he's one of the most crazy guys. If you think it's interesting with Thomas Müller to sit for a beer, you should sit with him, because you don't even have to ask him something. He's just like a machine. You do like this, and he starts with his stories. He used to be coach in Galatasaray Istanbul, like a second coach with a German guy. So he has a lot of really, really fun stories, and of course he's seen everything in football. He knows how to manage every game. So yeah, for me he's a very important figure in football.
Now, my last question for this interview from me. Let's go to the Champions League. I know it's a big step now from the fifth league to now Bayern and Dortmund, they qualify to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Do you think one of those teams can go to the final and maybe won this trophy?
I mean, I have to be honest, and if we look at the video in 3 months, I don't want to be there as a loser. So I would say no. This year, I think the other teams are too strong. Bayern in the league is not so good, and also in the Champions League, I think they went to the playoffs. Dortmund is also in the league very, very shit. So, sorry to say that.
No, it's okay. We are in a podcast. You can say everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, I don't think that Bayern or Dortmund is going to be in the final this year. I think Liverpool is the team of the moment now, the best
But
team.
they lost.
Huh? Again?
They lost. They lost to PSG. They got knocked out.
They got knocked out? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
You are a player that don't see football, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask me, do you see this game? Do you see this game? First of all, it's not good for me because I like to bet and it's not healthy. So I don't watch any big football games anymore. No, but I saw this game. PSG is also strong. And also things in football are moving so fast. They always ask me, do you see these players switching to this team and to this team? For me, it's not so relevant which player, which team. It's more about the moment of football. So yeah, PSG, Real is still in, yeah.
Yeah, Real is always still,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, right. They won the penalties against Athletic, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think Bayern and Dortmund. Before I say anything wrong, I will say just Bayern and Dortmund are not going to.
So who will win? Not Liverpool. Who will win at last?
You had to prepare me for this question. I have to look at the teams. Bayern, Dortmund, Real.
You got 5 minutes.
Barcelona.
I mean, Barcelona.
Inter.
Yeah. Yeah. Barcelona with Flick is also a very, very good team. Maybe PSG will be the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been in the final, but they
lost.
Yeah.
Tuchel.
Maybe PSG is going to win it.
No, nice.
Yeah.
So now just quick questions. The greatest German player of all time.
All time. Franz Beckenbauer.
Okay. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Now, you like physically. Physically.
I like from players. Messi is sorry.
Who will win the World Cup next year?
Germany.
I think they're not there yet. Maybe England. with Tuchel.
Yeah, nice. Does Israel will play there in the World Cup?
I hope so.
What is your biggest dream?
My biggest dream is wow, very good question. My biggest dream is to play one time with the Israeli national anthem.
Wow.
Come to the Maccabi and maybe
the Maccabi it will be. You have ever never been in the Maccabi. You never played.
I was already 4 or 5 times, but we always got knocked out in the quarterfinal.
So you live to hear the Israeli anthem in one of the games, maybe, I guess.
Okay. So I think that we ask all of the questions. Niv, no?
Yeah, I asked all of my questions.
Okay.
Thank you so much. It was very, very, very nice. I made a lot of interviews, But I've really rarely seen so well prepared interview. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks to Niv, because he did all most of the job. But so thank you, Niv.
Thank you, Niv.
You're welcome. It's really
And,
important for me to bring to show Israel that there's football clubs that also support them and support the Jewish identity, and
Yeah.
it's really important to bring this interview to the world and to
Yeah.
Israel.
Not to hide your identity, especially these times, So thank you also for that, and also for the
Thank
interview.
you. Bye, Yossi.
So now we just want to say goodbye from the people that see us and watch us. אנחנו נתראה בפרק הבא, ותגיבו, תשתפו, ואנחנו מסיימים עם מה שאנחנו מסיימים בשנה וחצי האחרונה. דורון, אתה תכיר את זה, עם ישראל חי.
עם ישראל חי.